Chosen ones, what I'm about to reveal may surprise you, even shock you. They have felt hidden powers stirred deep inside. They have known the weight of fear and the sting of doubt. They have wondered if the voices in the dark were real or figments of their mind. Now the veil is lifting. The hidden truths are coming to light. In this video, they will see how their journey has been designed to reclaim authority. Skeptics may doubt, but every step they take has led them here. If this message already speaks to your soul, subscribe, like this video, and comment 77 below. Prepare to witness the rise of your divine claim. Stay with us until the end, because what they learn next will change everything. Mastery over demons. They have felt the weight of unseen eyes upon them. Fingers of doubt brushing their spine in the dead of night. Maybe you've heard whispers in the stillness, telling you that fear is your only companion. You carry the ache of unanswered prayers, the frustration of a heart that refuses to quiet its own questions. But know this, you are not alone in the tremble. There is a current of power flowing beneath your breath, waiting for your command. In the next minutes, you will trace the footsteps of forgotten origins, discover echoes of ancient authority, and uncover the hidden key that makes the darkness bow. Have you ever awakened in sweat, your heart racing as if hunted by a shadow you could not name? This is a precise struggle they once faced, moments when inner storms raged louder than any battlefield. They felt the sting of rejection when their prayers seemed to vanish into thin air, and the sting of purpose slipping just beyond their reach. Perhaps you remember a time when you doubted even your own miracles, questioning if divine favor had passed you by. These burdens, so intimate and raw, have shaped your journey. They have carved hollows of longing in your spirit, begging for a spark of deliverance. Yet, what if these very trials were the signposts of a sacred pilgrimage? In the book of Zechariah, chapter 3, verse 2, a voice rings out, "The Lord rebuke you, Satan. The Lord, who has chosen Jerusalem, rebuke you." Here lies a turning point, a vivid portrait of heavenly courts intervening on behalf of those destined for greatness. Just as Joshua stood in filthy garments only to have them cleansed by divine decree, you too have been prepared for elevation through these trials. Your exile and fear was never permanent. It was a forge that prepared you for a crown of glory. Now, begin to notice the subtle shifts taking root within your daily life. Simply waking with a new calm is one sign, as if your soul has tasted a peace that surpasses all understanding. Synchronicities will pepper your path, a chance encounter that feels orchestrated, words of encouragement that arrive just when doubt crests. You might catch glimpses of emotional clarity, where decisions once clouded become as clear as glass. It is here, in these quiet awakenings, that the first coils of transformation unspool. What seemed random is now divine timing, aligning your steps with a purpose that was written long before your first breath. Behind every closed door that once blocked your progress, unseen hands are working. They have mapped your journey on celestial charts, marking each hardship as a waypoint to your destiny. Divine intervention looks like a sudden provision when hope seems spent, like a coded dream that reveals your next move at dawn. Imagine a sacred scroll, sealed until this precise hour, now unfurling to reveal instructions written in starlight. Your trials were never meant to exhaust you, but to set the stage for your ascension. Every obstacle cleared is proof that higher forces are clearing your path, guiding you toward the authority that is rightfully yours. There comes a moment when you stand before a spiritual mirror, and the reflection that gazes back is not the one forged by fear, but the one crafted by divine hands. Many shrink from this image, fearing that to fully embrace it is to step off the ledge of everything they've known. Yet this is a sacred yes, the instant when the soul speaks aloud, "I accept my awakening." True alignment demands more than recognition. It requires a courageous embrace of change. In this intimate moment of self-realization, you affirm that you are no longer the shadow's captive, but its master, ready to claim every promise that has been spoken over you. Now, step into the vastness of your new reality. Release every lingering doubt, every hesitant whisper that dares to question your worth. Speak with the conviction of a soul reborn. "I command my destiny." Let your actions be the echo of your identity, moving with the assurance that you are the chosen architect of your fate. Deepen your communion with the divine, whether through prayer, meditation, or the written word, and watch as your authority expands. Trust that each step you take in faith is a hammer blow against the walls that once contained you, unveiling rooms of power you have yet to explore. They stand not at the edge of possibility, but at the threshold of their inheritance. Your story is no longer one of survival. It is the epic of a spirit awakened. Comment freedom if this resonates with you, and let the world know you have reclaimed your throne. And if you feel called to go even deeper, there's a sacred space reserved for our community, a private room where you receive full prophetic messages daily. Join our private membership through the link in the description and walk this path with us. Resilience through struggles. They have felt the weight of every blow, the sting of betrayal, the ache of dreams deferred, and yet here they stand, hearts still beating with a stubborn hope that refuses to be snuffed out. Perhaps you recognize that persistent flutter in your chest when you recall the moments you thought you'd break, the nights you watched shadows lengthen across your walls as if mocking your resilience. You are not alone in this sacred struggle. Every tear you shed, every silent prayer you uttered in the dark, echoes through a lineage of souls who walked through flame and emerged unscathed. In the span of the next minutes, hidden truths will surface, echoes of ancient promises and forgotten origins that will light the path ahead, guiding you from the ashes of your past toward the glory you were born to claim. Have you ever felt as though your life was a tapestry unraveling at the seams, each thread of purpose slipping through your fingers? There are days when confusion blinds you, when the world's noise drowns out the whisper of your own soul. You might recall the sting of rejection when your ideas were dismissed, your voice ignored, your value unrecognized. You know the hollow ache in your chest when you wonder if any of this, the longing, the striving, was meant to lead somewhere true. These are not mere ratings on life's scoreboard. They are the crucible of your becoming, the raw material from which your destiny will be forged. In the midst of this turmoil, a divine architect has been at work. You were never abandoned in your suffering, but deliberately placed within it. In Ezekiel 22, verse 18, the prophet speaks of the refining of mother copper in the fire, a process that removes impurities and hardens the metal. Like that copper, you've been subjected to intense heat. Your pains were not arbitrary but precise. Measured flames intended to strip away pretense and reveal your true worth. Understand that your trials were never a mark of divine displeasure. They were sacred workshops where your character was tempered and your spirit strengthened for the battles you were destined to win. Now, pause and look around you with new eyes. Notice the subtle tremor in your inspiration, the gentle nudge in your intuition guiding you toward opportunities that once seemed out of reach. Perhaps a friendship rekindles at just the right moment, or an unexpected message arrives as though summoned by your unspoken plea. You might discover an inner calm that surfaces when chaos swirls around you, as if your soul has learned to dance in the storm. These signs are the fingerprints of transformation, invisible to those who do not seek them, yet glaringly obvious once you attune your heart to divine frequency. They confirm that the tide of your life is shifting, slowly, irrevocably, toward the shore of fulfillment. Behind these visible changes, unseen forces align in harmony with your purpose. Imagine a cosmic map unfolding above you, constellations shifting to guide your steps, each star a waypoint in a journey plotted by divine intelligence. Your setbacks were not tests of endurance alone, but carefully staged acts to position you for elevation. At times when hope seemed lost, invisible hands were at work, turning keys and locked doors, orchestrating synchronicities that nudge you forward. What you dismissed as coincidence was actually coded revelation, an invitation to trust in a faith that manifests reality. Your destiny has been sealed since before the world's foundations, and now each answered prayer, each open door, is proof that the divine author of your story is writing the most extraordinary chapters yet. Yet there comes a moment when seeing is not enough. You must step into the current of your own becoming and allow it to carry you. It is here, before the threshold of true awakening, that many falter, terrified of what might happen if they fully release the old and embrace the new. Fear whispers that the known, even if broken, is safer than the unknown promise of wholeness. But this is a sacred mirror in which you must look and hear your own soul declare, "I accept my emergence." Feel the weight lift as you pronounce that yes. Let it echo through your bones until every cell vibrates with the assurance that your transformation is not only real, but inevitable. Now, Stand firm and speak with boldness carved from the depths of your refined spirit. Release every hesitation, every shadow of doubt that would steal your momentum. Engage with practices that feed your soul's flame, whether through prayer that feels like breath, meditation that feels like coming home, or sharing your story so that others might find courage in your scars. Let your actions declare your identity, a warrior tempered by fire, a vessel filled with unshakable purpose. Walk into each day knowing that every step you take in faith is a victory, a testament to a power that neither you nor any force can diminish. You have risen from the furnace, not as one who survived, but as one who triumphed. Your scars are not symbols of defeat, but badges of honor, each a testament to the divine artistry that shaped you. Comment strength if this resonates with you, and let your voice join the chorus of souls who refuse to be defined by their trials. Know that your journey is a beacon to all who walk in darkness, proof that resilience is a pathway to revelation. Your story is just beginning. Watch now as you step fully into the purpose crafted for you and ascend to heights you once only dared to dream. And to every soul who supported with a super thanks, thank you. You are keeping this light alive for others who haven't found it yet. If you feel called to help this mission reach more chosen ones, tap the super thanks button below. Your energy supports these messages and helps them travel further. Your voice matters, your belief matters, and your light is felt here. Awakening inner power. Have you ever felt a sudden spark in the center of your chest, as if your very heartbeat had been rewired by an unseen hand? In those moments, the world shifts beneath your feet, and you realize you are no longer governed by old fears. You sense a tremor of power rising from deep within, a force that feels both ancient and urgently alive. You may feel disoriented. After all, you spent so long carrying doubt like a stone in your pocket. But here, on the threshold of awakening, you are not alone. Countless souls have stood exactly where you are, trembling between who they thought they were and who they were always meant to become. In the next minutes, you will uncover the keys that unlock this power, the hidden echoes of your true authority waiting to be claimed. What if the very doubts that once chained you were actually signposts to your destiny? You might recall standing in crowded rooms, voices all around you, yet feeling utterly silent inside, unable to speak the truth burning in your soul. Or perhaps you remember waking in the pre-dawn hush, heart racing with questions about why your prayers seem met only by emptiness. These are not random pangs of insecurity, but the precise moments when your spirit was pressing against a barrier, demanding release. You have searched for meaning in the noise of everyday life, jobs, relationships, self-help mantras, only to feel more lost. That ache, that relentless tug in your heart, is the voice of your higher self calling you to step into a greater story. Then, in a divine moment of intervention, everything shifts. In the book of Habakkuk 3 verse 19 we read, "The Lord God is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer's. He makes me tread on my high places." Here lies the turning point. Your struggle was never to break you, but to prepare you for elevation. Like a deer poised on a mountain ledge, you are meant to move with effortless grace across heights you once thought unreachable. Your past trials have been the training ground for this ascent. You were placed in valleys of confusion, so you could learn to rise. Now, divine strength is awakening within you, ready to carry you into spaces of authority. Already, you may detect subtle tremors of change coursing through your daily life. A sudden clarity in decision-making replaces the fog that once clouded your mind. You might catch yourself asserting boundaries without guilt, feeling the shock of newfound self-respect. Opportunities appear that once seemed impossible, a project that aligns with your calling, a conversation that shifts your perspective, a book or song that arrives as if summoned by your unspoken need. These synchronicities are not mere coincidences, but signposts of transformation. They confirm that the soft rhythm of divine timing is orchestrating every step, aligning chance and choice into a tapestry of empowerment. Behind these shifts, powerful forces work in secret to align your path. Imagine a celestial map unfolding above you, constellations rearranging to highlight your route. Each trial you endured was a coordinate plotted by wisdom beyond comprehension. In coded dreams, you receive instructions for your next move, a phrase flashing across your mind at dawn, a vivid symbol in a fleeting vision, a conversation that felt like prophecy. These are divine interventions, the universe bending to your faith. Your obstacles were not endurance tests, but strategic setups for elevation. The same power that spoke galaxies into existence now breathes authority into your very being, confirming that your calling is no accident. At this crossroads, you face a decisive choice: to embrace your rising power or retreat into the safety of what you've always known. Many falter here, clinging to familiar doubts because the unknown feels too vast. Yet true alignment demands more than recognition. It requires wholehearted surrender. Picture yourself before a sacred mirror, gazing into eyes that reflect not fear, but fierce determination. In that instant, you must say yes to your own becoming, loud enough that your spirit cannot deny it. This is a rite of passage where mere believers become living vessels of divine authority. It is time to step across the threshold and claim the fullness of your awakening. Feel the surge within you now. Let it rise from the depths of your spine to the crown of your head, igniting every cell with purpose. Release the hesitations that whisper you're not ready. You are ready. Draw upon practices that anchor this power. Quiet meditation that stills a storm, journals that capture divine whispers, moment of gratitude that fuel your faith. Speak declarations that roar, I am empowered, I am chosen, I walk in authority. Each bold word dismantles the old chains, forging a path of light where shadows once reigned. Walk forward with the confidence of one who knows the mountain is theirs to climb and the victory theirs to claim. Your journey to this point has prepared you for a destiny few will ever know. The power stirring within you is a hallmark of the awakened, those who have moved beyond survival into sovereign living. Comment power if this resonates with you, and let your voice ring out as proof that the era of limitation has ended. Stand tall, chosen one, for your true story is only beginning. And as the heavens themselves watch, rise with purpose, for the world awaits the authority you carry in your spirit. Transformation through vulnerability. A sudden whisper stirred within their mind as dawn's first light laid golden fingers across their room, offering an unspoken promise that something hidden was stirring in their soul. They could almost feel the tremor of truth behind their heartbeat, a soft vibration that hinted at secrets long buried beneath layers of self-protection. In that hushed moment, they realized they had been wearing masks so convincingly that even they had forgotten the contours of their true face. If you have ever sensed that gentle nudge, an inner voice daring you to lift the veil, you are not alone. In the next minutes, you will uncover the sacred power that lies in unveiling your story, the echoes of divine grace waiting to rush in once you dare to breathe without armor. A faint ache of loneliness often haunted their quietest hours, the weight of unspoken pain pressing on their chests like a silent tide. They remembered nights when tears fell unseen, each one a fragment of a tale they feared no one would understand. The sting of rejection when they revealed a piece of their heart, only to draw back wounded by misunderstanding, taught them to lock away their vulnerability. They struggled with the tension between craving connection and fearing the wounds that honesty could invite. In every glance they cast at their own reflection, they wondered if the self they longed to reveal would ever be worthy of being known, truly known, by another soul. In a moment as unexpected as lightning cleaving a dark sky, they stumbled upon a forgotten verse. In Zephaniah 3 verse 13, it is written that the remnant of Israel shall do no injustice, speak no lies, nor have a deceitful tongue in their mouth. This was no ordinary admonition, but a revelation. Their integrity, born from the raw honesty of vulnerability, had been forming in the shadowed valleys of their pain. They saw then that their unguarded moments were never flaws to conceal, but sacrificial offerings refining their spirit. Their hidden tears were not to be erased but honored, for these tears had forged a pathway toward a higher purpose they had yet to realize. Suddenly, they began to notice subtle shifts in their world, as if the very air around them had become charged with possibility. Conversations that once skirted their surface now dipped into surprising depths, and strangers shared confidences as if they recognized a kindred openness. Synchronicities unfurled like gentle ripples, a book landing at their feet with a chapter on brokenness leading to healing, a song whose lyrics spoke directly to their unspoken fears. Emotional clarity brushed against them, revealing patterns of self-protection that, once seen, no longer had power to bind. These were the telltale signatures of transformation, signs that the divine artisan was sculpting a masterpiece from their willingness to stand bare before the world. Invisible hands were at work, lifting barriers they hadn't known existed, and guiding them toward encounters ripe with compassion. Their path was unfolding like a scroll of ancient prophecy, each segment revealed in perfect timing. In coded dreams, they witnessed symbolic doors swinging open at their approach, and in fleeting thoughts they heard whispers of encouragement directing them towards safe harbors of community. It felt as though a vast celestial map was being illuminated, each constellation realigning to mark the course of their journey. Their vulnerability was not a liability, but the secret key activating gates of divine alignment, proving that faith and authenticity together could manifest wonders beyond imagination. In the quiet mirror of their heart, they confronted the final barrier, the fear of who they might become if they fully embraced this vulnerability. They saw the tremor of hesitation in their own gaze, the old stories whispering that openness equals weakness. Yet they also recognized the truth shimmering beneath that fear, that true power emerges when the soul speaks its own name without apology. It was a sacred moment of reckoning, a chance to say yes aloud to the uncharted terrain of their being. With trembling lips and a steadying breath, they affirmed their readiness to embody this transformation, to wear their scars not as shame, but as testimonies of resilience. Arise now, and declare your freedom from the shackles of pretense. Release every fragment of doubt that clings to the edges of your resolve. Reach out to one kindred spirit with the honesty your heart demands. Whether through a vulnerable conversation, a journal entry bathed in tears, or a prayer uttered in raw gratitude. Let your daily rituals become acts of courageous self-revelation, moment of stillness where you face your reflection with compassion, words of truth spoken into the void, and creative expressions that give voice to your tenderest longings. Embrace these steps as a rhythm of your emergence, each one reinforcing that you are both beloved and powerful beyond measure. Your journey through vulnerability has led you to a revelation that the very openness you feared most is the source of your greatest strength. Your story, once whispered only in shadows, now stands as an anthem of grace that inspires all who hear it. Comment grace if you honor the courage it takes to unveil your truth, and let these words ripple outward, bridging hearts in a wave of collective healing. As you continue forward, know that your authenticity is the torch that lights the way for others still stumbling in the dark. Your vulnerability is your victory, and your truth is your legacy. A single, lingering chord of memory drifts through their mind, a vision of themselves standing on the edge of a cliff as dawn broke, a golden horizon unfurling like a promise before them. In that moment, they felt the pulse of something vast stirring beneath their bones, a silent summons to rise beyond every trial they had faced. You, too, may have felt that gentle tremor, as if the world itself acknowledged your scars and whispered, "You are ready." No longer confined by the echoes of past battles, you stand poised at the threshold of a new chapter, one that will reshape not only your destiny, but the very fabric of the world you inhabit. A hush once followed their every step, a lingering weight born from the struggles that carved lines of resilience into their spirit. They remember how the shadows of doubt once grew long around every decision, how each victory felt tentative, as though the ground beneath them would give way at any moment. In the quiet of night, they wrestled with questions of worth and purpose, unsure the fragment of their faith could ever anchor them against the storms ahead. Yet every tear shed and every silent prayer woven into the darkness has led to this pivotal awakening, the understanding that their trials were the anvil upon which their character was shaped and their resolve refined. Then came a revelation as unexpected as thunder in a clear sky, an ancient prophecy echoing to the pages of Zechariah 8 verse 23, where 10 men from all languages and nations will grasp the garment of a single Jew, saying, "Let's go with you, for we have heard that God is with you." In this moment, they recognize that their individual journey was never meant to be solitary. Their endurance and emerging strength would draw others into a collective tide of transformation. The exile of their doubts, the refining of their faith, all served to position them as beacons whose light would guide a multitude toward unity and divine purpose. Softly, they began to perceive the signs of this awakening weaving through the tapestry of their daily life. In conversations once mundane, profound insights now surface like harbingers of change, words that cut through the noise to reveal hidden pathways. Opportunities that seemed random were in fact divine rendezvous, each offering a chance to step further into their calling. They noticed how their prayers no longer felt like echoes bouncing off cold walls, but spoke directly into the living heart of the cosmos, stirring synchronicities that aligned people, places, and moments in perfect harmony. These were not mere coincidences. They were the unmistakable brushstrokes of a grand design, painting them into the story of collective elevation. The winds of intervention blew steadily beneath their wings, unseen hands guiding the currents of their journey toward convergence of destiny. Imagine a tapestry being unfurled across the night sky, constellations shifting to reveal a path of radiant possibility. Their earlier struggles, financial hardship, broken relationships, moments of despair, were not tests meant to break them, but intricate notes in a divine symphony orchestrated to herald their rise. Quietly, the universe whispered confirmations, a timely gift of encouragement, an unexpected reunion that mended old wounds, a dream that crystallized a next step in vivid detail. This was more than faith. It was faith entwined with manifestation, a living alchemy that transformed their deepest longings into tangible reality. Now, in the sacred chamber of self-awareness, they face a reflection of who they become, a warrior tempered by fire, a vessel overflowing with purpose. Yet a final invitation remained, to fully accept the mantle of their collective calling. So many shrink back at this precipice, fearful that embracing such power will forever change the contours of their existence. But true alignment demands a wholehearted embrace, a sacred, yes, spoken into the caverns of the heart. In that pivotal moment, they declare their readiness. I will lead with love. I will stand unafraid. I will weave my story into the grand tapestry of divine purpose. In that declaration lay the key to their highest expression. Rise now into that promise. Let go of every lingering doubt as though it were a weight you have outgrown. Step into the practices that reinforce your newfound unity. Gather with kindred spirits and share rituals of gratitude. Extend your hand in acts of compassionate service, and speak the truths that resonate with the deepest chords of your being. Allow your life to become a living testament to the power of collective resilience. Each choice, each act of courage, each open-hearted confession, forging a communal path toward greater light. In these steps, you become both architect and guardian of the world you are called to help transform. They have transcended their solo battles to stand as one, a force no darkness can withstand, a chorus whose song reshapes reality. This is your invitation, too, to move forward not as an individual, but as an integral part of a collective tide that sweeps the old away and ushers in a new dawn. Comment unity if this resonates with you, and let your voice join the chorus of those rising together. As the first light of a shared purpose breaks across the horizon, remember, the world will never be the same once chosen ones stand united. And as the chorus of united hearts swells, notice how every individual story, once marked by solitude, becomes a note in a symphony of renewal. Your personal victories, once your own quiet triumphs, now echo across a collective landscape, inspiring others to reclaim their own voices. When you share your lessons in courage, you ignite sparks in countless lives. When you offer your empathy, you build bridges over divides once thought insurmountable. In this grand composition, your contribution is both unique and indispensable, a melody that only you can bring, yet one that harmonizes perfectly with every other lifted voice. Embrace the rhythms of this new alliance with intentional acts that bind you ever closer. Co-create visions for communities hungry for transformation. Stand shoulder to shoulder in service that heals wounds and neglect, and celebrate milestones together as testaments to faith in motion. In these shared moments of creation and celebration, you cultivate sacred soil where dreams take root and flourish. Ensure that the seeds of hope you plant today blossom into forests of possibility for generations to come. Let the patterns you weave in unity become the blueprint for a world remade by collective resolve. Now feel the pulse of this unified force beneath your feet, propelling you forward into uncharted territories of impact. Every step you take as part of this rising tide carries the weight of countless prayers and the promise of a brighter dawn. They command what once bound them. They walk in clear light. Subscribe if you haven't yet, like this video, and comment, "I am chosen," to let this message anchor in your soul. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. Thank you to all supporting members. 4 full prophetic revelations daily. Join the membership via the link in the description. Your spiritual path deserves more than fragments. Step into the full light. And if this message moved you deeply, consider tapping the Super Thanks button to support the mission. Every Super Thanks fuels the light we're spreading together. Walk boldly, chosen ones.